All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're heading to Dubai, a city that's literally built on ambition and, let's be honest, illusion. And we're about to dive into a story where that illusion became a deadly weapon. A story of incredible wealth, a web of deception, and a crime planned with just chilling precision.
And that line, wow, it just sets the stage perfectly, doesn't it? It's a story that unfolds in the super secretive, high-stakes world of Dubai's elite, a place where fairy tales and nightmares, well, they're often built on the very same sand. Okay, so to really get this, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to start at the very end. We're stepping onto the scene with Detective Sarah Khalil at a luxurious villa on the Palm Jumeirah. And the scene she walks into is just unnervingly perfect.
I mean, imagine this. You're a detective with 20 years on the job, and your gut is just screaming at you. There's no blood, no sign of a struggle, nothing out of place. And that's what's so wrong. The absolute perfection of the room told her something truly awful had happened there. This was the final act of a perfect crime.
So yeah, that quiet, perfect room, that's where our story ends. But to understand how we got there, we have to rewind. We need to meet the three people at the center of this whole tragedy whose ambitions were about to collide in the worst way possible.
So let's break down who we're dealing with here. First, you've got Sheikh Nasser. He's got billions, third-generation oil money. And for him, money isn't just for buying things, it's a tool for absolute control. Then there's Yasmin Curry, a flight attendant from Beirut who is ambitious and dreaming of a bigger, more glamorous life. And finally, Maham, the Sheikh's wife. She's a diplomat's daughter, and she's been trained her entire life to observe and to protect her family's honor, no matter the cost.
And their whole relationship, it was built on this massive lie, this complete misunderstanding of what was actually happening. Yasmin saw it as a mentorship. She told herself he was investing in her future. But for Nasser, this was just another transaction. To him, she was a temporary possession, another beautiful thing he could own for a while, who completely mistook a purchase for passion.
So Nasser, he's a master at this. He builds this incredible, beautiful prison around Yasmin. The Cartier and Hermes, that created financial dependency. The constant surveillance, the bodyguards, the phone monitoring, that was all spun as security and protection. And the network of fashion contacts he introduced her to, totally fake. All of it was designed to make him the one and only key to her dreams. But here's the thing. Someone else was watching all of this unfold from the shadows. The Sheikh's wife, Maham. And when she found out about the affair, she saw it very differently from all the others her husband had. For her, this wasn't something to endure. This was something to eliminate.
And that was the breaking point. This wasn't just another affair to Maham. Those were distractions. Yasmin was different. Nasser was actually investing in her, almost treating her like a potential second wife. And to Maham, that made Yasmin a direct, permanent threat to her status, her children's future, her entire family legacy. Patience was officially off the table.
So what does Maham do? She doesn't get emotional. Nope, she gets strategic, cold, calculated. For 6 long months, she had Yasmin followed, learning her routines, her habits, and most importantly, her vulnerabilities. She zeroed in on Yasmin's desperate need to be a successful model. And with that, she built the perfect trap. A completely fake modeling agency, Mirage Elite Models, designed to weaponize Yasmin's own dreams against her.
And the crazy thing is, Yasmin walked right into it. She was so excited, so sure this was her big break, that she posted it for the whole world to see. She had absolutely no idea that her greatest dream was about to become her final nightmare.
I mean, just think about that for a second. The one thing she wanted more than anything, the opportunity she thought she'd finally earned, it was all a lie. A carefully constructed trap designed to lure her to a place where she would just disappear. It wasn't an opportunity, it was an execution.
So once she's inside that villa, it's game over. The champagne they give her is drugged. Maham reveals who she is and shows her all the surveillance photos. The photo shoot becomes this horrifying session of psychological torture. Drugged, confused, Yasmin is forced to put her fingerprints on weapons and sign confessions to crimes like drug trafficking, all to create a perfect frame-up.
So the crime is done. Yasmin is gone. Vanished. But a plan this perfect, it's bound to have some flaws, right? Especially one that relies so heavily on technology to create the cover story.
And the first thread that starts to unravel it all? It's the digital ghost Maham created. The social media trail was just,
It was too good to be true. The automated posts, the perfectly scheduled messages, the stock travel photos. It was too clean, too curated. It didn't feel like a real person's life. And that's what tipped off Detective Khalil, that she wasn't looking at an adventure. She was looking at a lie.
And you know how it goes. Once the detectives had that little bit of doubt, the whole thing started to fall apart. Good old-fashioned police work and modern digital forensics just peeled back the layers. Reverse image searches proved the photos were fake. Airport footage showed a body double. And the final nail in the coffin, traffic cams showed Yasmin's taxi arriving at that perfect villa, but it never showed her leaving.
The trial, as you can imagine, was a huge deal. An absolute international spectacle that just laid bare the secrets of one of Dubai's most powerful families. The verdict was swift. Life in prison for Maham, 25 years for her accomplices. And for Sheikh Nassar, complete social and financial ruin.
So yeah, you could say justice was served in the courtroom. But for Yasmin's family, there's no real closure here. Her body was never found, just gone. Believed to be buried somewhere out in that vast desert that surrounds all of Dubai's impossible dreams.
You know, this whole story is really a chilling warning about the power of technology, not just to create, but to destroy our realities. And it leaves you with this one kind of scary thought. In a world where we all curate our lives to look so perfect online, how fragile is that line between the truth and a perfectly constructed lie?